So today we have a little Harrington and Richardson 32 spur trigger and 32 rimfire, I should say. Anyway, I just got this nice little pistol, pretty good shape. Original nickel's mostly pretty nice. There's a little bit of wear and tear, but I mean, given that it's about 140 years old, it's pretty minimal. The worst part of it is right there, a little bit of corrosion. Anyway, on the whole, this is a really nice little pistol, but I bought it knowing that it was under-indexing a little bit. I think if you do it fast, it locks up. Yeah, so fast is good, but just jammed up on me a little bit. Yeah, maybe I was overdoing it. Anyway, it's going to need some work. It's not the first time I've had this problem. And typically it's the little arm that indexes the cylinder. It gets worn over time and needs to be lengthened. And there's a couple ways we can do that. But for now, we're just going to start by figuring out if that's actually what it is. So we'll take the pistol apart, take the cylinder out, left just the frame. Now it's not jamming up. But we're going to take the grips off. Pardon me as I get my tools. This is something I've had a number of people ask me about, is disassembling some of my pistols. I think a lot of the time they have their own same model that they've acquired from somewhere, but they don't really know much about it. And all of these are more or less the same. Well, I shouldn't say like inside they all function basically the same, but there's subtle differences. If you have a plate here, you may not even have to take the grips off to take it apart, although generally to get the spring out you would. I got that out. These grips are really stuck on there. So I just pulled the screw back out and just getting something that will fit in there. I'm going to work it out. Don't want to damage anything. I think there we go. Just a super snug fit. I've never had that happen where they're quite that hard to get off. But they appear to be just a supremely perfect fit. So anyway, work the other one off. Now that's the main spring. That's going to have to come out. So we'll see if we can get it out. You can see fits in there and it's going to line up behind the hammer and put pressure on the hammer in a groove there. Just slide that out. That's the main spring. And just keep in mind the reverse of this is how it goes back together. So now we're going to pull the screw out for the hammer. Let me try a slightly different one and see if it fits better. Yeah, these screws are already sort of marred. This pistol's been apart in its past, which, you know, would be totally expected for a pistol of its age. We really want to try and avoid damaging the screw any more than it is. Seems also to be a tight fit. Way tighter than usual. So I'm also doing it again, just getting something small. I'd already unthreaded it. You know, push it out. Now we can get that out. So that screw is what the hammer rides on. So in here we'll have the hammer and the arm to rotate the cylinder. Now I'm not 100% sure exactly how this one's fitting in there. Oh, I think I see it. So you can see this little spring here. That is what's holding the hammer, or the, not the hammer, but the arm that's going to index the cylinder. That's what's applying pressure on it. So I'm going to have to get that out. And it might be hard for me to do on camera. So, turns out it's going to be way easier than I thought. It's not in there very tight. So I'm just going to pop that out sideways. Of course, now that I want to show you guys, it's being difficult. There we go. That's the spring that's applying pressure to keep the little arm on the hammer engaged on the cylinder. So that's basically sitting in there like that, probably under that hole if I had to guess. So we're going to have to get that arm out. So when they have a side plate, this is typically way easier, but this one we're going to have to do from the back side here. It should just be riding on a pin. You can start to see it right here. So we need to pop that off to allow the hammer to come out. May also be that the only way we can get it off is by getting it to flip all the way around and face the other direction. This isn't the first time I've had a pistol that was, pretty much this design. I don't know if I've ever had a Harrington and Richardson before. I don't recall ever owning one. But like I say, this design is pretty standard. Sure is nice when they put a side plate on them, though. There, I'm not sure. I think I got it. Oh, maybe not. Anyway, we'll do some fiddling with that. I'll be back. Okay, so did some fiddling, and we can see that I got it to rotate around. Now, hopefully, now that it's rotated around, I can wiggle that down enough to get it out. And this looks like it was already repaired. And this is not factory. So either whoever repaired this either didn't make it quite long enough, or it's worn over time. They also seem to have made it super difficult to get out. I'm going to try grabbing it with the pliers. It's really just a case of getting it just a fraction of an inch further down, and then it'll just pop right off. But like I say, when they made it, they sure made it tight. I'm going to take this off camera again. There, so now that I got a little closer to my face, I think I was able to wiggle it. There. So that's the little arm. Now this is basically a replica of the factory one. They'll all look somewhat like this. And of course that sits on the hammer in there, has that spring holding it down, and it rides up with the hammer to index the cylinder. So to take that trigger out, we just pull that pin. Let's see, do I have something here that will fit? There we go. So that pin holds the trigger in. There's the trigger. So that sits in there like this and catches the hammer and releases it. Okay, so funny enough, I was going to take the hammer out just to show you guys, but it's being a pain. It seems like everything on this little pistol is super tight, which is good. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but it's being a pain. I don't normally have this trouble when I'm working on these. Like, that hammer would normally just come right out. But anyway, instead of mucking around, I don't need it out. As a matter of fact, it's easier and more convenient if I leave it in. What I need to do is either make a new arm or extend this one. There's a couple ways I can do that. One of them would be to start from scratch. Cut a piece of metal out, weld a new pin through it, like drill it, weld it, shape it, and hopefully harden it, because that will prolong its life. The other option is to add a little bit of weld to the tip of the pin. Now, that's actually a tough option. This is super tiny. I do have a TIG machine that I'm not super good with, but yeah, you know, that's tough. I've done it a few times. It works, I can do it, but you know, there might be a simpler solution. Sometimes simple is good. And in this case, I think I'm going to start with simple. If I heat this up really hot and then smack it, so put it on the anvil or the vise when it's red hot, and then hit it with the hammer a few times, it will spread it lengthwise. May have to smack it flat to thin it out a little in case it starts to bulge this way. But by smacking it a few times while it's hot and pliable, I can actually stretch that out a little bit. It's a fantastic way of fixing them. It's so much easier than welding and stuff. And if it doesn't work, well, then you can start welding or start fabbing a whole new one. But when it works, it's marvelous. So much easier. So we'll give that a try. So I'm back here, and you can see I made a trace of that before heating it up and hitting it. And I didn't add much length, just a couple thou, a few thou, but we'll give it a whirl. So I'm going to put this back in the pistol and we'll try it out. So it took a little bit of fiddling, but it's basically the reverse of how it came out. I got this back together, put the screw in first, then the spring. Of course, that was after I put the pin on and got it in and spun around. You can see now that it's coming out. So spring's good, everything's looking good. All we can do to know if we shaped it enough is to try it out. Oh, silly me. I guess without the trigger I can do the indexing, but I can't do the lockup because the trigger's a part of the lockup cycle. So yeah, throw the trigger back in. That's pretty much just the same way it came out. Make that line up, find the hole. This pin might not want to go in two directions. One side's usually a little tiny bit bigger than the other. And I feel this is going in, but I'm going to need to get something to tap it down, so that'll have to be off camera. Okay, so the pin's back in. Still no main spring. Don't need it though, not right now. I'll put the cylinder back in. Feels weird trying to do all this through the camera. So that's in half cock right now. If I go to full cock, oh, not sure that was good. We'll find out. Oh, that locked up. Nah, don't think that did. And this is jammed up again. Why is this jammed up again? It did this last time, so there might be a little bit of piddling around to do. I'm not sure why it's doing this, but I'll do some investigation and see if I can't figure out why it's getting stuck. So with some more mucking around, I think I have this working. Seems to be indexing and locking up nice. I'm going to put the spring back in, the main spring, and try it some more, and hopefully it works. See if I can do this on camera. It might be something that has to be done off camera. It's hard for me to film and muck around, but we'll see. So it's like that, but that's got to be in the wrong spot. That's too loose. Oh. There we go. That feels like it's likely the right spot. Want that hammer completely forward. Yeah, it's I can't quite seat that, so I'm going to do it off camera. So I just took a little elbow grease and springs back in, and tight, super tight. This feels fantastic. Pistol's as good as new. So we'll put the grips back on, and hopefully, maybe I'll get out and shoot it soon. Going to be kind of busy, but we'll see. I'd like to give it a try. So yeah, grips are back on, and I'll just give it one more go. Oh yeah. That's feeling nice. Can't complain about that. Anyway, beautiful little pistol. We'll see if we get to play with it soon. I think it's actually in remarkable shape given its age, and that was a small repair. Like I've said at the beginning of the video, it was a repair that I've done repeatedly. Common problem. And one thing that I did, I don't know if whoever made this used hardenable steel or if it's just mild steel, but in case it was hardenable, once I had it to what I thought was the right size, I would heat it up nice and hot and oil quench it, hoping to harden it. Not sure if it did, but it's not going to hurt. Worst case scenario, it does nothing. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and I'll bring you more. Cheers.